Okay, so this video is going to be interesting because this movie, The Groundhog Day, is probably the best self-empowering source you can find. I would even dare to say that this movie might be pointing us to the ultimate meaning of life, and we will talk about it. There are so many essays and writings about this movie and so many different readings and interpretations from philosophy to religion that this can tell you that this is not another silly comedy, but really a very deep, meaningful movie. I watch this movie every year and I'm not tired of it because it helps me to reinforce ideas that, in my opinion, are key to happiness, development, and fulfillment. So we're going to really deep dive and go through these ideas and explore what this movie is really about. Phil Connors is a self-centered person that thinks that the world spins around him. He feels that he's the most important person in the world and that people around him, reality around him, is something secondary and inferior to him. Basically, he thinks that people are morons, and he's also constantly thinking about the future, about the big things that wait for him, big roles, big opportunities that are always better than now. So for him, happiness is in the future, and the present literally sucks. On the other hand, Rita, the character played by Andy McDowell, is a complete opposite person. A kind soul that is playful, that finds reality exciting. And this character will be the key for Phil's transformation. Then, as we know, he gets stuck in a time loop. He will wake up every day at 6 a.m. and the day will repeat. On top of that, he can't escape from Pennsylvania because that day there is a heavy snowstorm. Someone made him being stuck in time and in space. Whoever put him in this situation is creating the worst scenario for a person like Phil Connors. It's really a torture because there is no future, and he's stuck in the Groundhog Day in a small town that for him is the most boring thing in the world. But of course, this is actually a gift to realize about his attitude towards life. He just doesn't know it yet. So, same events, people doing and saying the same things. Just imagine that you wake up and the exact same things happen. What would you do? Put it in the comments below. The character goes through several stages of transformation after here. The first stage is realizing about the unnatural situation and coping with the initial shock, as many of us would naturally do if this actually happened. The second stage is realizing that there are no consequences, and this could be considered as a superpower. It doesn't matter what he does, he knows that the next day it will reset back and start over again. He knows what people are going to say, how people are going to react, and he used this to his advantage and personal gain. So at this stage, he starts searching for winning and for pleasure. Again, this is a self-centered person. So what is it for me, right? Think about it. For a person that lives in the future and that hates reality, the only relief for this situation is immediate pleasure. You know, he runs away from the police just for fun. He gets a girl with tricks. He robs a bank and spends the money in silly things. And then he tries to get Andy McDowell, who is a kind soul, learning about her every day and trying to pretend to be the perfect man in front of her. While other things work for him, these false tricks don't work at all. So that's a wall he's hitting. So at some point he realizes all this is futile. The things he can get are not fulfilling, and there is something he can't access. The feeling of being stuck is overwhelming. He realizes that life as he knows it has no meaning. A sense of emptiness and boredom from the monotony of reliving the same day is too overwhelming, so he tries to take his life several times. The suicidal attempts have no consequences as well, and he keeps on waking up at 6 a.m. And that's for me one of the pivotal moments of his transformation. This experience has humbled him, destroyed the ego walls he has built with others, destroyed any attempt to search for happiness in the future or in material things, because there is no next day. Everything he tries to acquire for the material world is going to be vanished. He realized then the solution is not in growing external rewards to reinforce his inflated identity. The identity as he knows it is also shattered. There is only one way left now, the real internal growth. He's empty now, fragile, no individuality walls. He's open now to reality, and that means he's ready to be filled and embrace the moment. Whoever put him on this loop, stuck in time and space, put him through a torture because he was pushed to the other extreme. He was forced to live the present moment. But most importantly, it forced him to see how wonderful Rita is and how inaccessible she is with superficial tricks. He was just blind before, blind by his ego and his belief that happiness is somewhere else in the future waiting for him, that great things in life are material or can be achieved with immediate shortcuts. With time, day by day, he truly falls in love with her, and he stops pretending in front of her or using tricks. He's starting to be genuine, without wanting something in exchange. And that's the power of love. It's transformative. And from then on, it's no longer about himself anymore. So he has discovered the feeling of love and starts to care about others. All the ways he has been focusing on himself has led him to failure and the feeling of a meaningless life. But shifting the focus on others, helping others, it's starting to give him a real fulfilling sensation. He also confronts the idea that there are things that we can't control, like when he's trying to save the homeless guy, and no matter how hard he tries, he dies. So this humbles him even more. The experience of death tells us how are things that are bigger than us, how small we are, and how important it is to take the most of life. So even though the day repeats in the exact same way, each day is now different to him, because he reads now, he learns new things, he uses his creativity to search for ways to learn different skills. This is also transformative. It's transforming him into a new person. He starts learning piano, to learn how to make ice sculptures. He acquires new skills that can help him and help others, things that he considered useless before. While the immediate pleasure didn't fulfill him, the feeling of true progress does. So it's only when it's not about him or the future, but about fully seeing the best in people and embracing the moment when he's starting to enjoy reality. Even the most boring of towns has suddenly a charming, rich flavor, because it's about the people, as he says in his final speech. And he means it. It's when he sees the loop not as a curse, but as an opportunity to improve in things and help others, when the world is not about him, but he is one with the world, that he is truly happy. It's when he's not trying to get Rita, but being the best version of himself, that Rita falls in love with him, which also tells us that wonderful things in life, they come to us naturally when we are genuine. It doesn't matter that things are repeating every day, because for him, at some point, every day is a fulfilling bliss, full of variety and different details to observe and different things to do, and an opportunity to shine and radiate light and warmth. Only then he truly gets the point and purpose of life, and he breaks the curse. How this can relate to us is clear to me. Only opening up to the here and now, focusing on our true progress and seeing the best in others can really propel us to a happy life. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please press like and subscribe to get more content like this. In the next video, I'm going to focus on visions and a real example of how one of these visions became reality and led to one of the most fulfilling moments of my life. Thank you.